Hello everyone, today we will go over how to make a bootable USB flash drive using your image that you've downloaded. So on this case we have a Windows 10 image right here on my desktop. If you don't know how to create a image file, please reference the video in the description and that will show you how to create a Windows 10 image specifically. For other services, it's pretty similar. You would just download the image usually directly. So to start, on this case, we're going to be using Rufus. You can use your USB burner of choice, so Unibooting, Rufus, or even the Microsoft official USB creation tool. So to start, I'm going to open up my web browser of choice and I'm just going to go to Google. Here, I'm going to Google Rufus. I'm going to the official Rufus website right here, or you can download it from SourceForge. That's also a fairly trusted one, but I'm going to the original one. And then I'm just going to click the portable version. I do not want to install it. You can also see they're competing against Unibooting here, so I don't have anything against either or, to be honest. I'd rather use Rufus. So I'm gonna run the Rufus portable here, and then I'm going to move that to my desktop. Once you have it downloaded on your desktop, when you click on it, it's actually going to create a few other files. So actually, I'm going to move it to a folder so your desktop doesn't get cluttered with other files that you may not want to see. So I'm just gonna run it from here and then click yes, and then we can check for updates. I'm just going to say no since we just downloaded it, but here's the other file. So basically from here on, what you have to do is you have to insert your USB drive. In this case, I'm just gonna unplug mine and plug it back in. You see how it shows up there. Just note that when you insert your USB drive, so mine is called ESD-ISO, anything that you have on it will get wiped. So if you have any content on it, please back up those contents elsewhere before you proceed with this video. Once you have everything off your USB drive, select it here from the list. Make sure that it has the same drive letter so you don't end up wiping something that you don't want to wipe. On this case, you can see the drive letter on this one is F, and right here is also F. So I also know that it's a 16 gig USB drive and it has this name. You can always rename it if you want to be extra safe, and I'm going to say ISO 1, and then this list should update here. So right here, so ISO 1. It would have also updated before, it will just taking a little bit longer. So anyways, once you select your USB drive, go ahead and select your image. So it's going to look for a disk or ISO image by default. So click select, browse to the path where you have the image store. In my case, it's right on the desktop called Windows 10. Click open, and then here we have to choose the format type. So GTP is the best new way to install Windows. You will use UEFI. On my case, I actually have to use MVR. The computer that I'm using this for specifically, it's going to be a fairly low-end computer. I'm going to be using just as a seed bots. So I'm going to switch it to MVR BIOS mode. The name, you can call the name the same. ESD-ISO is usually a Windows 10 thing, so you can leave it as that. And then everything else can be default, and you just click start. When you click start, it's just going to warn you again that all of the data on that USB drive that you've created will be wiped. So please back up anything before you click OK. This is your last chance. Now this is going to take a little bit of time to go through depending on the speed of the USB drive and how fast the computer is able to write to it. So I'll go ahead and pause this video for now and resume it once it's done. One thing I forgot to mention was if you left the GTP partition scheme on, everything else would have been defaulted to. It would have been fine. So it would have said GTP, and then here it would have said UEFI, and then here it would have said GTP. Sorry, FAT32, it would have said on the file system. And then when you click start, the same warning message would have popped up, and I would go through the same process. The difference is UEFI will work with the secure boot on the BIOS, UEFI BIOS, while the MVR is the old legacy way for the BIOS system. The recommended way to do it currently is, of course, UEFI. Okay, so it's been a while and it's about to finish, about 33 minutes, 34 minutes here and counting. Again, this is the speeds would be different depending on the speed of your USB flash drive. This is a fairly old flash drive. I believe it's only 2.0, so that is why it's taking its sweet time to finish. Okay, so when it finishes, it's just going to say ready, and then you can click close. And then if you go and review the USB flash drive, so again, it's the ESD ISO, because we didn't change the name on the we didn't change the name here, so by default it tries to use this name for a Windows image, even though we had renamed it to ISO that one. That was just for the flash drive, so when you wipe it, it reformats it and just names it whatever the volume label is, in case that causes some confusion there. And so if you review this, you now have the setup icon, and you can either run this if the computer still boots. I would not recommend doing it that way. And if it doesn't boot, then you can boot from the USB drive. Depending on your computer manufacturer, you will have some preset boot keys that you can use to boot from external device. For example, Dell would be F12, HP's would be Escape or F9, and I believe some of other like third-party like Gigabyte will use like F4 or F1 to get into the boot menu. So you can review your owner's manual or just look it up, or when you turn on the computer, it will just briefly flash on the BIOS screen saying boot menu. Press this key. So just tap that key during the startup process, and it will bring you to into the menu that you're looking for. Anyways, that would be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and subscribe.